Don't matter. We're gonna talk about whatever. Welcome to episode 4. All right, welcome listeners. Welcome to the 00Lounge podcast. This is episode 4. Let's do a brief introduction. I'm here with Angelo Green. And Aaron Christopher.
What up, y'all? Aaron Christopher up in
And
this
I
shit.
am Malik Banks, and this is the 00Lounge podcast, New York's premier games podcast, where we, as longtime friends, discuss game industry news, nonsense, and share with you our love of games and games culture. We're coming from Brooklyn right now.
Booyah!
Alright, so what's new, guys? What have we been playing all week?
Me and Aaron's been playing Dark Souls 2, the remaster.
Yeah, Scholar Edition, that's what it's called.
The remaster?
Yeah.
I'm getting sick of this whole remaster thing.
Man, I freaking love remasters. Keep them coming. Or whatever. Just
Listen.
games.
Wait. First, how old is this game?
Yeah,
Like a year and a half, 2 years, maybe
2 years.
3 years. I don't know. I don't remember when
It's
it came
exactly
out.
2 years. Yeah, it's
I
exactly
remember
about
that.
2 years.
But remasters are pretty good. Well, it depends on how you look at it. I look at them as fillers for when the other games come out. I mean, if you just want to hold it, then so be it. You know?
I just want new games.
I understand, but games still take long to make.
I understand that. But did you own this on the previous generation consoles?
Yes.
So you just bought it again?
But never touched the DLC, so it's actually
Yeah, I
more
never
of a
got
new
the
experience.
Because they didn't. It was a chunk of DLC they just never
Yeah,
released.
Three
they had
DLC packs.
They had 3.
Probably in anticipation of a remastered version.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But, man, whatever. I didn't play the DLC. I got the game over again. It looks beautiful. The 60 frames per second kind of hurts it a little bit.
Yes.
But, I mean, so far, I've gotten to about the end of the game. I'm looking forward to doing the DLC. That's really why I bought it. Like, one thing that software is known for is really hefty, DLC packs. Like, I'm very interested to see the new bosses, weapons, and etc. Like, so that's me. That's why I got it.
All right, cool. What is it about? This is part of the. This is from software, right?
Yeah.
So it's part of that whole
Bloodborne, yeah.
Dark Souls
Soul series,
family of games that
wreck your ass.
Yeah. Pause.
Giggity.
I mean, I started playing Bloodborne, right?
Yeah.
Against my better judgment, played it, and I fucking like it. And I'll tell you why I like it. I don't like it, the game itself. Like, the game itself, like the setting, the story, man, it's the challenge.
Yeah.
It's the fact that the game is, there's no forgiveness in this game.
There's no
like,
hand-holding.
It's here you go. Here's this world. Like, survive.
Conquered.
And it will send you out there, and you will die. You will die a lot, but it's all about the challenge. The challenge of finding the guy that killed you, one, because he has like all the blood echoes that you've accumulated up to a certain point, and then killing him and getting those back. But once you die, every enemy in the world repopulates, so you got to fight your way back through all of that shit.
Just to get
So my main advice to anybody who wants to play this game and hasn't played it, and they have coming from somebody who hasn't played a Souls game at all, just don't die, yo.
No, take your time.
Don't ever die.
Y'all be honest, it's a patience game. It's
It
a
is.
patience game, and it's luring. Like, if you can strategize in any situation, that game is for you. It causes good thinking, like, good judgment.
Yeah.
So that's what I like about it. Like, I don't like games on rails anymore. Like, to me, that's just it's boring. Like, if I play a shooter now, let's say the Battlefield campaign, I went straight to the hardest difficulty. Like, I can't, do the easy games no more. It's not fun.
Yeah.
A lot of games are feeling too realistic to me.
A lot of games these days they just want you to beat it and get it over with. That's what it feels like. They're just so easy.
Yeah.
So I like getting my boots spanked a little bit. It's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, like I said, I enjoyed the game for the level of challenge it presents.
Yeah.
So that means you gotta try Dark Souls next.
I don't know if I'm gonna go that far, man.
That's too much, man.
No, listen. Don't. Listen, I know what you're doing. All right. I know what you're doing. You're trying to set me up. To buy that game, and then I have to play through that game again, and then I'll be on this damn death spiral of playing Souls games, which I don't want to be on.
No, Labaga. Like, me and Aaron, we already finished Bloodborne.
Yep.
Close to platinum. I'm like 85%.
I'm right behind you.
I got 2 trophies left, right?
Yep.
Now, going from Bloodborne back to Dark Souls 2 was rough. It went from being so fast-paced. Well, it feels extra fast-paced compared to Dark Souls 2.
Yeah.
Like, when I first started playing Dark Souls 2 again, now I can't say I was a pro, but I was good at Dark Souls games in general. Now, going from Bloodborne back to Dark Souls 2, all I did was die constantly and get so frustrated.
Oh, so you like me right now?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, not anymore. Like I'm back to the slow pace and but when I first started like a couple days ago, it was rough. Really, really rough.
Yeah,
it was like 5 hours of constantly dying.
Yeah.
And I was just getting so frustrated. I wanted to throw my controller to the TV.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool. It's not something I'm gonna do all the time. Like, don't count on me. Like joining up with you guys.
RPG kick.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't rule anything out, but it's just not. It's fun, but it's not the type of game I like to play on a regular.
Spectacular, grand combat, all of that stuff. The game was meant to be what it was gonna be. A Souls game with a little bit faster pace and a little less rewarding. That's what it was meant to do. It did it very well. To me, I like the lore of the game. I wish it was more an in-depth story to it compared to the previous Souls.
But none of the Souls games really had an elaborate story.
I know. But like, I figured Dark Souls, the world
it's more about the experience. I think
so much more interesting though than Dark Souls. Like, I'm being honest with you. Like Dark Souls, I'm so detached from the world. I just I'm gonna run and kill a boss.
Well, that's because none of the NPCs are interesting. Like
in Dark Souls, I thought the werewolf thing was pretty cool.
You mean in Bloodborne?
Yeah, I mean in Bloodborne, the werewolf thing was pretty cool. All the bosses to me look amazing. Like they all look amazing. Like there wasn't one boss that I thought looked whack. Like my favorite one was the what's her name? Wet Nurse. Yeah, she was cool. It was like a nurse that went dead, turned into this big beast, and had like all these 6 arms and was huge with all these swords. It was like a wraith almost.
And she was wet.
Yeah, she was wet. Yeah, real wet.
Like she was called Wet Nurse.
Yeah.
I'm saying though, but like there was like they animated that.
No.
Oh, all right, I was about to say.
So you see, but she was wet.
All right.
Yeah.
I take your word for it. As you would say.
But yeah, like to me that was a good thing about it. Like,
all right, cool. Anything else you guys play? 'Cause that was pretty much the only game I played this week. I didn't have a whole lot of time to dedicate to games.
So I would love to share an embarrassing death that happened to me in Dark Souls.
All right, let's see.
So after you light the 3rd primal bonfire, right? This didn't happen before in the regular edition, so this caught me completely off guard. I had literally no life, a smidget of health that you couldn't even see on the screen. I went to light the bonfire, and an NPC blew up the bonfire and killed me. That was literally only supposed to talk to you. So yeah, guys, that was my death. It kind of upset me. I'm gonna upload it on my feed pretty much real soon. I'll give you guys the link in the description to see it. I don't know if this is something that's supposed to happen or maybe it was a glitch, but it looked real crazy. Like, but yeah,
Crazy.
But Bloodborne though, how far did you get?
Not very far. Because I died a lot. In the same.
Make it to the first boss yet?
Nah, I was trying to level up first. So there's a guy, and I want to say it's one of the guys holding one of the rifles that has all my souls. From how far I made it.
Okay.
So as soon as I get back home, I'll kill him. Hopefully, get my souls back.
Your blood echoes.
My blood echoes. And
well,
then,
you can't level up until you fight the first boss.
Yeah, you have to die on the first. Well, you don't have to die, but he's extremely hard to beat your first time going to him.
Yeah, your first time you see him.
But you have to get this thing called an insight. And then when you go back, you can talk to the doll.
And she'll let you
level up.
So right now, the souls that you got is pretty much useless. You don't really need them. If you can collect them on your way toward the boss, then that's fine.
Yeah.
But, it's worthless. Like, you can't do anything with the souls. Unless you go to them and then teleport out to fight. A couple of us.
Yeah, technically you could do that too.
Yeah.
Alright.
Homeward bone it.
Yeah. So literally there's an item that you could just go there, teleport out afterward. Like, as soon as you see him, because he has a whole animation where he walks up to you. And that's pretty much the only way to do it and level up. Come back to fight. But I'm interested to see you fight Father Gastion. That's gonna be funny.
Who's that?
That's the second boss now.
To me, by far one of the hardest.
No spoilers, but yeah, he is by far. Because alright, the beginning of the game is rough because you're getting used to new mechanics and so on and so forth. But this boss is relentless.
No.
And I can't really say much because I don't want to spoil it for you.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's fucking rough.
He has 3 forms like freezing and shit. When you run into him, yeah, it's gonna be heavy. Like
He's fucking rough. Put it this way, at this point, I'm a Souls like I said, I'm good at the game, but I got up to him and he smacked me like 3 times before I even realized what the fuck was going on. Before I even come back with like a counter fight against him, like I just got smacked up.
yeah. So my advice is run around on the tombstones. He can't.
Yeah, use the scenery as as your shield that you don't get in the game.
Yeah, because his range is retarded. His speed is retarded. He walks faster than you, swings faster than you, hits harder than you. Literally, you just got a patience.
It's like if you was in a PvP match and you level 5 and he's level 65 or 85 or something. It's just so unfair.
It would like be you against the Rock.
Yeah.
You just gotta cheat him. like there's no ifs, ands, or buts. Like
hit him with a rock or something.
All right, close the ball now.
Yeah,
pretty much.
And Jason Statham.
Got you. Yeah, that was funny. He blew him up.
We'll talk about that next. We'll talk about that next.
Yeah, we can talk about that now. It was great.
It was good. I enjoyed it.
We actually just got back from seeing it.
Yeah. What do you think about it?
I thought the movie was really, really good. Some of the stunts were a little like
outrageous.
They're just getting a little worse in the movie.
They're
getting too much.
It definitely is, especially when this guy.
No spoilers.
No, a little bit of spoilers. All right, if you haven't seen it yet, you're an asshole. Go see it. I won't spoil everything, but I'll just say there was some transporter-ish stunts done in cars. One that they gave Transporter 2 a little bit, a lot of guff about.
A run for their money.
A lot of guff about when he
when he detached the bomb from the bottom
with
of the
the
car.
crane.
Yeah.
Yes, and he he didn't detach a bomb. He attached a bomb.
No, he detached it from his own car. When he flipped it upside down. The crane took it.
No. I'm talking about in Fast and Furious.
Oh, no, okay.
Yeah. He attached a bomb.
Well, they did it in reverse,
to a helicopter.
kind of.
In one of the parts of the movie, which was
that was just too much.
I was looking at what the fuck? I thought he was gonna throw one hand grenade into the plane.
Well, I kind of knew he was throwing the whole bag for the plain simple fact that he looked at the one hand grenade and then threw everything in the bag and then zipped it up and left.
Yeah. But it's either hit or there. But that being said, it was a great movie.
But Jason Statham,
amazing job.
Probably the
best
7
villain?
movies in Fast and the Furious. And he is by far the best villain.
Yeah,
period.
They didn't really start getting real villains until the 5th movie, really. Well, no, the 4th movie.
Well, no, even the 3rd Tokyo Drift had a villain. Kind of.
But they again,
don't you ever bring that movie up? Don't do it.
All their problems are always solved with cars. So it's like, all right, I either got to beat you to a quarter mile faster than you in order to win the race,
or I gotta
drift faster than you to get to the bottom of the mountain. All their problems are pretty much solved with races.
But the movies that escalated a lot.
Yeah, it's definitely
Well, it went from being a race car movie to being a pure action movie, pretty much.
Which I enjoy.
They're basically like James Bond right now. They're in bed with the CIA.
Black Ops Division.
Yeah. So this is
my only thing is how do they explain
this is a spy racing epic?
How do they explain all that fuckery that happened in the city to the
city? We ain't gonna get into that because that's just total destruction.
Again, this is a movie,
Yeah. Well, come
but
on.
what if I was the military?
They all these government agents. There were some
Yo.
cops. That was it.
Yeah,
and they lasted 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Well,
Cops in movies are the most inept.
They're by far retarded.
Yeah, it's what are they there for? They're there to absorb bullets and blow up and
they're meat shields.
Yeah.
I think every action movie I've ever seen,
cops don't solve problems.
At some point, a cop dodged a bullet, truck or a car blew up. I
don't know, man. To me, it's not gonna be the same without Paul Walker.
It's not. There's definitely gonna be
empty space, a hole.
Yeah, definitely. His presence in the movies are gonna be sorely missed.
Yeah, and you know what could solve it? It would take good casting.
Nah, you can't replace.
You can't.
You can't. No, he can't.
He was really the one that tied the whole cast together.
Yeah, he can't be replaced. But they have to find somebody so freaking interesting that for at least 5 minutes you can say to yourself, "Oh shit, Paul Walker's
Paul. Real talk, Paul. There wasn't anything interesting about him, but it's just the dynamic he had. Him and Dom.
The chemistry.
Yeah, they had.
But it wasn't just him and Dom though. It was him and Dom, him and Tyrese.
Yeah.
Him and
Tyrese again, like he's like a character now, like,
Comic relief.
Yeah, and it's not even like good comic relief for the most part. Like I guess like
They just keep playing him in the movie. Like,
Yeah,
he's like the punching bag.
Yeah, he is.
But he's good at it. He's good at it.
He's good at being a punching bag, I guess.
I mean, I'd be talking
Everybody gotta have their part, right?
I'd be talking to my agent like, yo, like,
like I need a serious
tell
part.
him don't write another script like that. I mean,
Well,
like,
he had his chance to be the leader.
But I thought that was funny when he argued with the guy talking about being the leader, and he was
And
like,
then when they tried to give him the part,
he was like, I'm good.
the nigga was like, nah, I want it.
I don't need it right now.
Like, what's that about?
I don't know, man.
Man, I love the movie though. The tribute to me was really nice. It got to the point.
Yeah.
I wouldn't spoil anything about the tribute for anybody.
I ain't gonna lie, son. I almost cried like a little bit, like a little tear.
Yeah, when I saw it, even the second time,
it welled up. It welled up.
At one point, it didn't even look like niggas, they was acting anymore.
It was legitimate emotion. Somebody who they worked with over several movies. Damn near, was it like a decade and some change now?
Yeah.
Seven movies, that's almost
2001?
15 years, sir. Almost 15 years.
Yeah. That's a long time to put in. And
I mean, they all skipped one movie, but that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
Just that Tokyo shit. I mean, Drift.
It's not gonna be the same, without Paul. So, good movie.
If you haven't seen it, go see it. It's a really good movie.
Writers,
see all of them, even Tokyo Drift.
writers for this.
You can
see Tokyo Drift.
You can
Come
skip
on,
it
man.
though.
Yeah.
You can skip it if you want.
Listen. Don't skip Tokyo Drift. Right?
They did tie it into the series. But
you have to know how bad the series got.
I saw Bow Wow on
see
screen for 4 minutes and wanted to punch me.
Yeah.
I even made
everybody wants to punch Bow Wow.
I even made a comment when they showed, because he wasn't in the movie.
Yeah, but they tied back the old.
Yeah, they showed old footage, but when I seen it, I was just like, oh god, like I even said out loud. You remember that shit, right? I was like, oh.
Yo, first of all, his name was Twinkie. Why is his name Twinkie?
Oh.
What the fuck is it? I don't know.
Yeah, it man, fuck you.
And he just needs to get a better agent.
There was just a couple characters that I wasn't mad that they was in the movie. Just they could just do without them.
Yeah.
How you guys feel about the girlfriend, Cheryl Rodgers?
Oh my god, that shit was hot.
And Ronda Rousey?
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna scissor like mid fight. So that should have been. I would have lost my fucking.
I have a feeling that fight continued after they wrapped.
Yeah. After that, it was like
after they wrapped. I think
Michelle, come back to my trailer.
Yeah.
Like, okay, all right.
I think that's pretty much what was going on.
But have you ever seen Ronda Rousey? Like outside of an MMA fight, like even
She's actually pretty cute.
She's fucking dope. She's dope.
Ugly girl at all.
Nah, she's not at all. Hold on, let me see if I can pull a picture up.
Yeah, no, I've seen her many times. You don't even gotta pull a picture.
No, but Angela doesn't have a reference.
Yeah, she's kind of cute. For a big old brawling MMA chick.
She can fucking go.
I'll touch down.
She can.
Yeah, but that's like betting like the Rock. So you just can't do it.
Nah, she don't got like a Rock face.
She can take control of me.
Yeah, pretty much. Come on, son.
But she looked bigger than that in the movie.
Of course, like there's a movie, so they do perspective shots and all of that.
Nah, she ain't though.
She was on Tosh.0, son. She armbarred him.
Tosh is a funny show.
She armbarred the shit out of him.
That's nice.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Real nice.
All right, well, moving on.
All right, so I'll be busy. You guys continue the podcast.
Yeah, no fapping on podcast.
Fat cast.
Let's not say we did.
Nope. All right, moving on. What else we want to talk about this week? Because there wasn't a whole lot of news.
What about updates? I want to talk about the rumor for Grand Theft Auto 5 Vice City.
The DLC.
Yeah, Rockstar, please do this.
I saw this.
Don't play with my emotions.
I saw this story. I guess it's a rumor. It was on Info-G. I lost my mind. Like I'm already like, if there was a way to give them, like, if I could go to their headquarters right now and push my pre-order money through the door, like, I don't even know if they're gonna charge for this. They probably will, but if I could like push a $20 bill through the door and say, hey, write on it, Vice City DLC, I would do it because I'm buying this. If it's real, yeah, I'm buying.
I'm with it all the way.
Yeah.
Like, I love Vice City scenery. I would definitely love to see it modern in Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah, that's the thing. Would it just be a? That's the thing that you don't know about. Like, if it's gonna be,
is it gonna be a remaster or like?
If they're gonna stick to the '80s motif of the original Vice City,
or they're gonna
bring it current, like Franklin, Trevor, and Michael go to
Vice City.
That'd be cool.
Or do a completely new set of characters because,
Ballad of Gay
GTA
Tony.
4,
They did
all DLC was new characters, and arguably Ballad of Gay Tony was the best one.
To me,
it was better than the original story.
Yeah, to me, I thought the whole story with Luis and Tony was real interesting. It seemed realistic too.
As opposed to
Yeah, he was a bouncer at a club. He got up there. He was a criminal.
Yeah.
It was organized crime. Like it was good. Like it was good. It was a story that I could believe that happened.
Yeah, I mean, it felt the most New York out of
Yes.
Liberty City being like a play on New York City. It
I
felt the most New York out of all the three stories.
Yeah.
Even
I didn't like Nico Bellic. I couldn't relate.
No. I mean, I thought his cousin was whiny.
Yeah,
he was a little whiny. He's doing all this killing, and he's trying to rationalize it throughout the character dialogue. Like, why am I killing all these people?
Well, maybe he's just a sensitive guy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He had to do to survive.
I don't know, man. I just wasn't a fan of Nico Bellic. I mean, as hard as they work in the game, it was still a good game. Rockstar just that dialogue doesn't work. You gotta.
It was the greatest game.
You gotta no.
It was the greatest game.
Stop. You like Grand Theft Auto 4 more than 5?
No, it was the greatest. Like, it's just the greatest game.
He's just talking about Grand Theft Auto in
All
general.
Grand Theft Auto.
Oh,
It's just great.
If he could get Grand Theft Auto
Greatest game.
tattooed on his head, he would. So
No, I
just
would
stop.
not do that. I would not go that far. But I go close.
Nah, you would just put an R star in the back. I get it.
There are things that I would do. Pause.
But yeah, definitely looking forward to seeing something like that. I wouldn't mind new characters, but I've grown a real attachment to Michael and Trevor, especially Trevor.
Mm-hmm.
I think Trevor is like the Joker.
He's funny.
Yeah. Like, and not to mention he's like a real simple,
but funny
comic relief, threatening character. Like, to me, out of a lot of the games I played, as a character standpoint, that is one of the most interesting weirdos I've ever seen in any game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, point blank, if not my number one favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was just real.
his infatuation with old women.
Yeah, he was just a creep, meth, drugs.
Yeah.
He stomped the guy from Lost in the Dam's face off
Yeah, I forgot his
in
name.
the first hour of the game.
Yeah.
Like, things like that. And then had the air
Johnny Klebitz.
juice under his boot and brought it to the game. Like, that's a real cynical, crazy dude right there.
Yeah, he's crazy. I guess that's why he's so enjoyable.
You know how you swap between characters and they do completely different things?
Mm-hmm.
When I really, really fell in love with the character is when I woke up butt naked in the middle of a beach.
Yep.
Laid out a bottle of like Jim Beam or something on the floor next to
Pisswasser,
me.
probably.
Yeah,
That's
and
the Rockstar brand beer.
every single person around me was dead.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Oh my god, I did it again!" And just gets up and continues the game like
drops
nothing
you
happened.
drops you to the world.
Just drops you in like nothing ever happened.
Yeah.
Like, or I switched back to him and he was in an armored plane jumping out of it. Like, yeah, it's just what is he like? The things that character does.
And that's what I like about that game. It's like there was so like the characters
Personality.
lived when you weren't playing them. Like the switch, I was wondering how the dynamic would work when they first announced that you would be switching between 3 different characters. And then you would jump into each individual character, and they would be doing something according to like their personality. Franklin would come from a strip club. This guy Michael would always be coming from
The Hollywood theater.
Yeah, like because I guess like he's on this whole midlife crisis, like searching for a purpose in life. So he would be like you switch to his character. He's sitting by an ocean, looking out to the stars, or whatever he was doing. And then Trevor, he would go to him and he'd
Beating somebody up, you'll be in a bar.
dead bodies around, or he'd wake up somewhere drunk and naked, and, like literally drunk, and he'd have to like drive and wait till he sober up in order to like resume the game.
It was cool. Like I definitely like that. To me, that was real interesting.
Yeah. So I'm looking. If the DLC rumor is real, like it's a definite like guaranteed day one buy for me.
All right. So speaking about rumors,
Yeah.
there's a rumor that in a couple weeks at E3, Red Dead Redemption 3.
Red Dead Redemption 3. That's another like must buy. Like
Well, Red Dead Redemption sold the money if they made a remake. If they made it
So any which way it comes out, even if it's just a complete HD remaster, it's
I'm gonna be
good.
honest. Out of sandbox games in the entire world, that's my favorite one. Period.
It was such a great game. Like,
Period.
I didn't think I would like it because it's like the old Wild West.
Me neither.
And it might have been empty and
I don't like westerns. Like I'm
was
not
so
a
much
western
shit
dude. Like the
going
only
on.
western I probably watched was Back to the Future 3. That's as close as a western that I've probably watched, and it was dope. Like everything about the game. Like there's so much detail,
so much content,
thought,
the animals, like
put into the skin animals. And
yeah.
I mean, I don't like that's like.
But I thought it was cool. Like you know, he was able to make different clothes, different outfits by skinning animals. It affected your holsters.
But that's how they did it back in the day. So you know, they kept it to.
And that DLC of the
Undead Zombies.
Yo, that was it Undead.
Yeah, they had the zombies, and then they had
that was arguably one of the best DLCs ever for a game. Like because it was just so well done. I had to finish it though. Yeah,
it turned like everything. The zombies had missions based off of it. It was just cool. They had all kind of mystical creatures. You were able to fight yetis and Sasquatches and all kind of craziness. I thought it was a good DLC.
That game was bananas.
Undead horse, like
you can ride one of the horses of the apocalypse.
Expect more greatness then come E3. Hopefully,
yeah. If it's true.
If it's true, that's what I said. Hopefully. Nothing's set in stone. Nothing's ever set in stone because the game could be being made, but they still don't show that E3.
It would make sense.
They wait until another event that's coming up like September, October, whenever the next event is. Yeah. So you never know.
Yeah, I mean Rockstar hasn't been at an E3 in a long time though, so I don't know.
But there's a lot of people going to E3 this year that hasn't been there.
In a while.
That's true. But
there's a lot.
I don't know.
This might be arguably one of the biggest E3s of all the returning people.
But Bethesda's actually going to be at E3, and they never there.
They're doing a press conference the day before Microsoft and Sony do
and they're never there. Never.
No, they were there. They were there for what, the last couple Fallouts.
Yeah, they were actually there sooner than that. Elder Scrolls Online. Yeah, but they first showed that. Yeah. But Elder Scrolls Online.
Well, that's coming to consoles June. I don't know, sometime in June, second week or third week or something.
Yeah. I'm still gonna get it. It's free to play now.
Yeah, no more paying $15 a month.
Yo, we don't want to play for y'all games no more. Alright, if it's an MMO, give it free. I'll buy packs and shit, but I ain't paying $15 a month. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Subscription MMO. All right, if you're gonna come out with an MMO, make it an MMO. Don't come out with a console game and call it an MMO and charge people to play it.
Yeah.
That's just not cool.
Well, they've gotten rid of the monthly subscription. Right?
No, they have.
On console, you're just paying the $6.
Even on PC. Yeah. Even on PC now, you're paying for the game. It's buy to win, buy to play or whatever.
Yeah.
But beforehand, they was charging people to play. Yes, they still have the charge model too, but they're giving you like in-game currency and I guess cosmetic stuff, things like that. For free monthly.
To keep the money coming in. Yeah.
But in general, developers should not come out with a console game or even a PC game that's a regular game and it's not actually an MMO and charge people an MMO price. Yeah. Because that's just not right. No. And that's exactly what they did with Elder Scrolls, which was just basically Skyrim with a price tag tacked on. And multiplayer.
That's what they were banking on. They were banking on people. People love Skyrim.
They was banking on the fan base, and that's not right.
Yeah.
That's like, imagine, we've played Final Fantasy 14 and 11, right? Now, 11 for its time was decent, but now it just didn't age well. It just looks horrible and blah, blah, blah. But 14, imagine 14 came out and it was 13 with multiplayer. Like, who would want to pay for that?
Yeah, understood.
You know what I'm saying? If you're going to build an MMO, you build an MMO.
I definitely understood. I mean, like I said, I'm a big fan of you guys with Bethesda. I love Fallout. That's one of my favorite games. I love Elder Scrolls.
Fallout 3 was the shit.
Skyrim, to me, I love the game, guys, but just please don't make a world so uninteresting like you guys did with this one. I thought Oblivion was a lot more vibrant.
I love Skyrim.
Nah, you should have played Oblivion. You should have played Oblivion. Honestly, hands down, Oblivion shut Skyrim down. I don't care what anybody says.
And that's not me. You know, I'm not.
There's a lot of people that swear by Skyrim because they haven't played the priors.
Yeah.
And because half of them are all about graphics. And yes, Skyrim does look visually better. But that's because it came out, 5 or 6 years after?
Yeah.
You know, games get better in time. So I don't go by that. But as in terms of the world, Oblivion was so much better. It had so much more content, I think. Like, it was just hands down. And the DLC was better. The DLC for Skyrim was not that good.
That's the DLC that started DLC on consoles.
The DLC for Skyrim
horse armor.
Yeah.
But Oblivion had Shivering Isles, and that DLC was off the meat, bro.
Arguably one of the best
DLCs
games.
Yo, arguably one of the best DLCs I've played. Period.
And I played it, and to me, I had 90 times more fun doing that DLC
than playing a regular game.
Playing any regular campaign in any game,
like you
it was good.
If you still have your 360, I think you do.
I do.
It's like $2 now.
Get on my game. Oh, nah, you can't do that yet. But it's probably like $5, bro. Just buy Oblivion.
Nah, it's kind of over for that console, really.
Yeah.
Like, I still have it, still connected.
Well, if they made a remake right now, I'd buy it. I think,
but I haven't turned it on in months.
If Bethesda came out and said, "Yo, we coming out with a
Skyrim and
Oblivion Skyrim pack," I would buy it just for Oblivion. I wouldn't.
They need to add co-op to that damn game.
Yeah,
well, that's what they tried to do with the MMO, but they tried to charge people just for the multiplayer aspect of that.
Yeah.
And that's not right.
No.
I mean, yeah, granted, the world is bigger because you get to travel. I think all the 5 regions or 4 regions.
Yeah, they all know.
I think they're all in there. I haven't played the game on PC, so I really don't know. But that's pretty much what it is.
Yeah, they need to do 4-player co-op, whole in the night.
You want to know what's the scary thing about those games? When it's a sandbox game and you add 4-person co-op and a game where every decision you do influences a lot of different
Yeah, so like let's say I'm in Aaron's game, for instance, right? We're playing co-op and I'm in Aaron's game. I decide to kill all his NPCs.
Then
that's going to affect his story.
I mean,
but I think if
kinda,
you're going to play a game like that, you wouldn't play with randoms.
No,
or that too, or you could just do it like the way how the From Software does it, like
they come in as souls.
they just come in as ghosts. Like when I'm in his game, all his NPCs to me look like ghosts.
Yeah.
So I can't actually interact with them, so I can't attack them and stuff.
Do you know how fast people will complain about that in the Skyrim game? Like, that would be the first thing that they bash on. The first thing. It wouldn't even make it a day.
Well, if they went and bashed, I'd be the type of dude to go in their game and kill all the NPCs and then laugh at them when they get
what I
progress
think
in the
they
game.
should
Then
do? I think an easier solution is don't allow other players to kill your NPCs.
No,
attacking them is one thing.
You
know how sometimes you attack NPCs and no matter what you do, their life just doesn't go down past a certain point and they get up and just keep re-attacking you. I think that's the worst thing that should happen. And if you zone out or come back in,
they need to. If that's the case, they need to come out with a system where it wouldn't affect your thing. Not as
you just have the
gateway.
option to turn that on and off. Like
if
there are people in your party that you want to be able to interact with your NPCs, but not be able to kill them.
then you should
toggle it on and off. You should be able to tell what kind of guys, what kind of people are coming to your game. Do you want them to have an effect on your game and live with the consequences?
Yeah.
Or do you
That's actually a pretty good idea.
Well, we'll see. I hope.
This podcast gets out there. Note that, guys.
I mean, I hope the Elder Scrolls Online gets it right with the free to play model because as of right now, Dragon's Dogma, which was one of the pinnacle RPGs of last gen. Like, hands down, it was the best of both worlds because it was a JRPG, but it was westernized.
It was action as well.
And so it was like Skyrim meets Final Fantasy all in one game, right? With better combat because the combat in that game was sick.
It was fun.
But now they're coming out with the online, Dragon's Dogma Online, and it's going to be in beta soon or whatever. But it's going to be basically the same concept with multiplayer, like how we want Skyrim to be, and it's going to be free to play.
Yeah.
So hopefully Capcom gets this right because Capcom's not known for getting games right half the time.
No.
Yes.
Especially they get their single player games right. It's their multiplayer games they don't get right.
It's just come on choppy.
No, it's not even that. Like the Resident Evil Online, Outbreak,
The
and
concepts are probably just
they're bad.
translate. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, their Resident Evils up until 6 was pretty good.
Yeah.
Their Devil May Cries and all them other games are pretty
Maybe
good.
it's time for them to stop rehashing and living off the success
of
old games,
past franchises, and come out with new stuff.
New IP. Actually, Dragon Dogma was a whole new IP for them, and that's funny that's a big.
And
success.
it was really good. Like hands down by like.
I mean, that's
I
probably
played the shit out that game.
That's probably one of the newer things that I've seen come out from them because everything else is either Street Fighter or Resident Evil
or Devil May Cry
or Mega Man.
Mega Man hasn't come out of them for years.
Yeah. We're getting a bootleg one though, guys. Mighty 9.
No, Castlevania. Yeah, you said Castlevania, right?
The Castlevania's Konami.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're getting Mighty 9. So if any of you Mega Man heads, especially X series, that's gonna be perfect for y'all.
I haven't played a Mega Man game since I think X2.
Since I haven't played one since X.
Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's dated. They need to leave it where it's at because I feel like if they try to bring back Mega Man in any spin, even the Legends way, they
because I actually liked Mega Man Legends.
Playing on that nostalgia.
Yeah, they're gonna destroy.
But that's a lot of companies are doing that now. So I mean, when you see a game we're gonna use Grand Theft Auto since we were talking about that already. It's Grand Theft Auto 5, but it's really like Grand Theft Auto 8 because they had Grand Theft Auto 3, they had Vice City, they had San Andreas.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? They have all these games. So I mean, something new. Give me something new.
I guess it all depends on whether it works or not.
I understand if it works,
but
give me something new. Your company cannot come out with 2 games every 7 years. You banking on, you know what I'm
They
saying?
come out with more than that. They did.
Yeah, they do.
Max
They have,
Payne.
Yeah, they came out with a few games.
Yeah.
But it's a very
But I like
few games.
no. But they do it so well, as opposed to somebody who comes out every 2 years
And yeah, it gives you the same.
or every
Exactly.
year.
That's why I don't want the same
or
games.
every
That's what I'm
year.
saying. I
with
want
the
new-
same.
I want new
same
IPs now.
It's different tweaks on the same bullshit, and then try to sell you a 60.
So that's what I'm saying. I want new games now. Period. Like,
Got news updates for you guys. Something I've been wanting to attack heavy. I swear to fucking God, you do it to me again, Treyarch. I'm burning.
Black
I'm coming
Ops.
to the studios. This is a threat. All right, and I'm throwing.
It's not endorsed. What's about to be said is not the opinions or feelings of Double Lounge podcast, or any other.
Listen here.
Besides the one that you're about to hear.
Listen here. All right, don't you dare give me Black Ops 2 again. All right, we just got the announcement for Black
Teaser.
Ops. Yeah, the teaser, which is an announcement for Black Ops 3. They're going futuristic again.
I heard Advanced Warfare mech suits are back.
No, it's not confirmed.
That's what I heard.
They are getting
That's what I
suits.
heard.
They are getting some kind of suits. They
The
even
bio
showed
suits.
it in what you're seeing. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I like Advanced Warfare, but to me, all of that extra shit completely ruined the game for me. It was cool to do for a couple of days, thrusting and jumping 10 feet, but it's not fucking Call of Duty. Like it just, to me, it doesn't.
Yeah,
it
but,
doesn't
I
suit
mean,
the game
everybody
like a
com-
military shooter.
Everybody complains that it's staying a military. There's only so much World War II you can do.
You gotta take it a different way.
Yeah.
you gotta.
But now is every version gonna come out with mechs and shit? That
Probably
shit's
they'll
stupid.
probably.
Who
try
knows?
something
Maybe you'll be
different.
fighting aliens next.
But again, like,
My point.
There's just always this dance that you have to do when making a game. You either give people what they want, or you try to give them something new.
Exactly.
And 9 times out of 10, going off of the Steve Jobs philosophy on customers don't know what the fuck they want. As soon as they get something,
they don't want
the
it.
exact
They want something
opposite
opposite,
thing.
and they actually get what they asked for.
Yeah.
So
Initially,
yeah, it's like, all right, you gave me World War II or some kind of war that American history for the last 5 games. Now you ask, I want something new, and when they give you something new, they're like, I don't like this. You should just give me what I had already.
That is
For
true.
what?
They're definitely
and that happens.
As long
not
as the
just-
mechanics don't change, it will always be Call of Duty. So even if you have me fight aliens, if the guns are the same and the mechanics are the same,
Yeah.
all I gotta do is aim down my reticle and
And
shoot.
they have a mode for you guys who want it back to the same old Call of Duty where there's no mechs,
I mean, yeah.
no exosuits.
No,
Sorry.
And it's still Call of Duty at that point.
I don't. This is my opinion. I think that killed me. Hopefully, Black Ops 3 is good. Like, honestly, you guys have slowly been dwindling. It's not a lot, but if every game you start getting 2 or 3 million people less than the last game, that's a big signal.
Nah, you know what I think it is? I think it's that the hype from like Modern Warfare 2 is actually starting to die down because you can't do much with shooters. To make people happy, you can't do much with shooters. You either keep it the same, and if you change it, people don't like it, then you go back to being the same.
Yeah.
So now if Black Ops 3 came out as Black Ops 2, that's because of the feedback they got from Advanced Warfare was bad.
You want to know what it is? It's that they come out with shooters, but they don't change anything in the core shooter. Difference between Modern Warfare 2 and 3 was what? Nothing.
Maps. That's it.
Maps, guns,
But
frames.
that's what I'm saying. So
You get what I'm
as
saying?
long as you don't change the core mechanics, it doesn't matter what kind of game you give me.
But I don't understand why there's all the way up to now Call of Duty doesn't have destructible scenery.
Because they're not trying to be Battlefield.
You don't have to be Battlefield. In real life, if I put a Claymore behind a door, this is supposed to be a futuristic game now too, behind a wooden door, and it doesn't blow the fuck up, then what is the point of that? It's not.
I understand that, but
It's like mechanics haven't changed. This thing, I don't understand why a guy can be sitting behind a vase. I'll shoot the vase. No holes go through it. Nothing breaks. But because of their bad perception, he's shooting me around it. But it's like head glitching.
I understand
Why?
what
If
you're
in real
saying.
life, if you're head glitching, whatever item is in front of you is going to be slowly getting chipped away.
I understand what you're saying, but
It
again, you would have to make the whole game completely destructible for that.
thank you.
That will never happen in any game, so it doesn't matter.
Battlefield no.
Battlefield does not have
Battlefield
that.
does not have a whole destructible scenery. We're not even going to argue about this. I'm giving you an opinion. Battlefield has destructible scenery to an extent, right? But Call of Duty making the money that it has, being that this is next gen now, Battlefield couldn't have it back then. It's too much to run. right? And they damn near did a pretty good job at doing it still.
Most of the battlefields destructive of
and I'm not disattacking scenery.
It's not. It's dynamic.
I'm not.
It's dynamic, yes, as in terms of like if I shoot a rocket at that wall, it blows up, but it blows up the exact same way every time.
It doesn't. Not true. It doesn't.
It depends on how the part that it impacts.
But let me finish.
The ending.
For example, Call of Duty, right? By now, I've been going prone the same exact way I've been going prone, and I'm not even a game developer or creator, or I have the skills to even do this stuff. But there's for no reason that when I'm going prone, that I have to like shift to the side like I'm Snake from Metal Gear Solid. Why can't you roll in a situation where you get what I'm saying? You have this trigger that you thrust. Why can't you do that to do a quick roll motion if you're prone on the floor? You get what I'm saying? There's so much things that they can add to this game, but what they keep doing to us is they keep reselling the same core mechanics without even thinking about tweaking.
Every developer does that though.
But at this point, Call of Duty has molested us.
Any of the AAAs, pretty much.
Yeah,
so much.
Look, you got Madden does it, NBA does it, or 2K. All sports games do it.
Sports.
All shooters do it. Battlefield's no different.
But this is what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about any. I'm talking about how to evolve gaming.
Yeah, that's valid. Like trying to the role thing. I get. Like if you're in a firefight, like you're not gonna like.
Yeah, what is
crawl to the left? They can make it a little action, but then I guarantee there'll people be complaining about.
Look, this is typical prone in Call of Duty. Right? Why when somebody's shooting me, I can't do this? What is the big deal? How much is that going to cost them to add into the game? I don't see it. Like
$4.3 million.
Exactly. Hopefully they listen to the podcast and they think like, yo, why didn't we put roll inside the game? But
yeah, I mean that's what it is, and that's something.
It took Call of Duty,
but then
six games to get contextual leaning. You gotta be kidding me.
I mean, they probably had the same argument with themselves as you just pointed out. Like, do we change the mechanics
exactly?
As such?
And then are people gonna like it?
You don't have to change. You have to add mechanics. If you're gonna give me sequels, add mechanics.
But that changes how you interact with other players.
But you don't think jetpacks and thrusting does?
It does.
My point. And so if you can do that,
they had to take it to the next level. They already went to modern, so they had to advance it.
This is what I'm saying. So if you can do that,
this is going to be Black Ops 3 Advanced Warfare. Like,
yeah. If you can do that, then why can't you add
futuristic,
new stuff like
temporary?
This is what I'm. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I want weather effects. Inside
I
want weather effects in all games.
Yeah, I want dynamic weather effects that are completely random. I'm not talking about stage. Like in this stage, it's always going to be a tornado. I don't want that.
As soon as you walk past this door, the weather.
Yeah. No, I don't want that. I want the same stage having all 4 different weather effects: storms, weather storms, snowstorms, all the tsunamis, tornadoes. I don't give a fuck, but. All those different dynamics on each stage. Not this one stage only gets tornadoes. Yeah, it happens maybe at 3.04 on the dot. I don't want that. I want... If shit happens in the ocean, like if I'm at a beach stage, right? I want it to either snow and let the water freeze up or whatever. Whatever the case fucking may be. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Right, alright.
Or sometimes a tornado or water typhoon or tornado, whatever, pops up. But I don't want it to be the same exact... shit happening on the same exact stage every time at the same exact time that the match been going on.
We got all this power now, like all this power at developers.
But there's still only so much you can do.
There's still even now. There's only so much you can do, but they have a lot to work with. They do.
Yeah, but you got to think about it like this too. The more they add, the more they got to take away. No, the more they got to take away. So. Like
that's
dynamic weather could affect AI.
It could affect the graphic fidelity.
It could,
of the game. They would have to dumb down the graphics to get more.
Remember, that's more taking away from memory.
Exactly.
So
how much
scripted might be the better way to go.
Well, that's why you do it.
Okay, even scripted, that's fine and dandy, but we don't have any of these things at all, right? Like I feel like DICE is doing it. They're starting to get an idea of where to go. You get what I'm saying? Battlefield in general is getting on the right track, but does not have the means or the competitive spirit of Call of Duty. Like that's the honest truth, right? Call of Duty can be way better, way bigger than what it is, and at this point, it's nothing but excuses. That they have the best minds, the best manpower, the biggest budget, the most money, the best advertising, and the most sponsors backing them up in the entire world of gaming. And this is what we get for it. And I'm sorry, but I'm not having it no more. So if I have to literally boycott it or start not purchasing it just to see some improvements, and I'm not complaining, guys. I love your games. What I'm saying to you is you can do better. You really can do better, and that's just how I feel. Like,
all right. So let's talk about something that we were talking about offline. Preserving games.
Yes.
And I guess what's going on to some people online, some more interested parties are taking old games, digitally preserving them, whether that's pulling them from off of a cartridge or a disc, coding them to run on PCs in order to preserve games.
Yeah.
And in some instances, running them on servers.
Some instances, literally hacking is the word that you should best use for it. Yeah, I'm for it. Like, I don't really see what the problem is. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know why it's a big Congress thing now. I don't know why it's such a big deal. Mm-hmm. Like, if you can still have people want to play a game, even after the servers are down, said, oh, it's old, it's ancient, that's like a culture thing for gamers. Like, I feel like if I want to go back and play one of the oldest Mario games, or if I want to play Mario Kart, the first one, and I have a way or means to hacking it and making my way so to keep it going for other gamers as well, then what is the big deal? You guys still get all the... You know what I mean? Nobody's taking anything away from you. Nobody's taking any money from you. So what's the problem?
I mean,
you
playing devil's advocate. If you haven't purchased the game, like if you just download it from off of a server,
pirating.
That's pirating.
It is pirating.
That's pirating.
So now, basically, what you can do is, I understand preserving the game, but if you never owned the game, I understand if you bought it already. But if you never owned this game, essentially you're getting this whole game for free that people put their time and effort to make.
It's kind of not fair to them. And then it also comes into like rights of who owns the content as opposed to the rights of individuals to use the content. Like I agree with you that there should be ways of getting content that you want, but you have to do it in a manner that respects the owners of said content. Like old Nintendo, there are probably some old Nintendo games that I probably would want to play, or even like a couple years ago when you could not get some of the dopest RPGs on PlayStation. Mm-hmm. On a continent, you could not get it.
You would pay like $200-$300.
Yeah, there was a point in time with Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9, like you were not able to get copies of that game in the stores because it just wasn't a way to do it. You go to eBay and you pay $1 billion for it. Vagrant Story is a perfect example. You could not find Vagrant Story anywhere. Square would not repress copies of that game until they put it up on the network. You had to pay $100 plus for a hard copy of the game.
And then they see that it has a following, and then they decide, maybe we should redo this.
So, I mean, is it fair to a gamer who wants to play a particular game but can't because, either the person who owns it doesn't want to spend the money to press copies, or maybe they have some other plan in place where they want to monetize it some way, some shape or form in the future? You got to kind of respect content owners because they put their heart, their blood, sweat, and tears into putting that stuff out. And it might seem like a dick move to like kind of shut some of that stuff down, but I mean, they own it, they made it,
and I agree with that to a fault. But now this is the unfair part about it that's not said. Let's say a game like SOCOM, for example. Mm-hmm. Those games had a long running online server. Mm-hmm. And one day they decide, hey, we don't want to do this no more. After you purchase your game expecting a full lifetime as long as you own it, to play the game the way you enjoy, and they can any moment take that away from you. And if you so by far take the means of setting it up yourself where you can make it playable for you as someone who purchased it and everyone else who has the game as well to keep it going, let's say just building your own server. Why is that pirating or illegal? Like, why is that such a hard thing? You guys don't have to run the money no more for the service. Everybody is still enjoying it. Yeah. Now it's like, why is that so scrutinized?
Well, I mean, that's not outright pirating. And, I'm not.
It's hacking.
Downloading
I'm not,
free copies.
yeah, I'm not an
game.
attorney, and I don't know how much of the technology used to duplicate what Zipper Interactive. I don't know how much of that technology they use to put servers on for the PS2 versions and SOCOM. I don't know how much of that is duplicating what these hacking guys are doing. So, I'm pretty sure they'll have like lawyers take a look at that to see if they're in essence infringing on patents or copyrights that Zipper or whoever holds their patents hold. But this is going to be a problem with all games that are coming out now that have like some kind of online component to it, where once that game is not supported anymore, like you're not going to have access to certain features, if at all any features. Like let's just say one day Sony and Microsoft folds. All your Xbox Live games, your PlayStation Network games, you're not going to have access to that stuff anymore. So
you'll be able to play the offline modes, just not the online modes.
But that's my thing. When you bought this as a service that you were going to have for as long as you own the game.
Nah, you got to understand when you buy this that you're also taking the risk of. Because
they do say it's liable.
Game.
No, you're right. You already know where you're going. They do say liable to stop, not to work, to have issues, not to be able to be played. It's all in their terms and conditions.
And I'm pretty sure there's something in there that says that it's
they also have the right to shut it down.
It's not first of all, the license guaranteeing these games, technically you do not own them. Yeah. Everything you get is a license to access and use.
Yeah.
So they can terminate that. They have those rights to terminate that license at any time. So in essence, them taking away servers, them shutting stuff down, is a form of that license termination.
Okay. Now, what's the problem if I said, "Screw you guys, I'm gonna do it myself"?
Then that runs like
you run the risk.
You run the risk.
Do you think that there should be some kind of fair bargain? And if I'm somebody good enough to code, to make my own server, let's say I have these skills and I can do it solo or with a team of 5, and say we don't need you guys to run the servers no more. I can host my own. I can do this and do that. Then why can't that be done?
As long as the way I see it, as long as you're not making a profit off it, and as long as you're not illegally downloading digital copies of games that you didn't pay for, then there should be no problem. If you're running them straight from the disc and that you already own, that's fine. But if you're not, then that's just
this is something that developers have to address at some point.
Exactly.
Because what if I don't want to play the latest Madden? What if the Madden started being Madden 07 was the perfect version I ever wanted to play, and that's what I need.
And
to
then
play.
they shut down servers and you
that's
can't play
the
online.
That I want to, But at the same token, if there are new versions of a game, I can understand why they would want to shut down and have you buy a newer version.
Because they don't want to keep holding open servers for old versions of the game when everybody's upgraded. When a majority.
That's cost money. But for something that's old and they're not going to make another one for a very, very long time. It's buyable.
I see that more of a problem for an online only game though.
Yeah.
Something that is online only that you can't touch it offline. Yeah. So
that's a game when you buy it, you're willing to take those risks.
That's what I'm saying. But
that's a little different.
If it has an offline mode, then
a completely online game that can go screwed up at any given point. That can be pulled off.
This is a problem with ROMs. Why Nintendo was so aggressive shutting down ROMs a couple of years ago, because we wanted to play these old games, but we just didn't have a way to do it.
Yeah, and then
except for piracy.
But even now, with Sony, because Microsoft's not really doing it, it's Sony and Nintendo. Their Nintendo's virtual console and Sony's PSN. Downloading PS1 games and so on and so forth. Nintendo still don't have games that people want on their thing. You know what I'm saying?
Now I'm all for that campaign. ROMs, right? Now ROMs is super illegal.
That's basically getting digital copies of games you didn't purchase.
Scrutinized thing ever. Yep. Right? But if that was the case and you didn't want people doing this, then why don't you, as a company, technological age, open up your own ROMs. Yeah. I will sell you my ROMs. Yeah. You pay a fixed price. We're not going to make any money off of these games anymore. Who's really going to go back and buy?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm all for that too, because if regular people are coding these games to work on PC, there's no reason why Nintendo or Sony or Microsoft can't do it themselves.
Yeah.
They just don't.
I wouldn't mind paying that. A fixed $50.
But let's say
$30 a year.
I think it more comes down to this though. It's not the fact that they can't do it. It's the fact that, let's say, the developer, because Nintendo, Sony, and they don't own these games. The developers do.
Yeah. That's
right?
what I was about to
Unless
get to.
they're first-party games.
Yeah.
Now, these third-party developers, if let's say Nintendo, for instance, comes out, let's say 007. Who made 007? I don't even remember.
Rare developed it, but
Rare.
It's a
Now,
Nintendo property.
It's a Nintendo property, right? But now let's say it wasn't a Nintendo property. Let's say Rare still owned it, and now Microsoft owns Rare. Nintendo can't come out with that ROM because it's owned by Microsoft. Let's just say.
Understood.
You understand?
Yeah.
So that comes into play now. A lot of those companies from back in the day don't exist
anymore.
Yeah.
So they
So
have
it's
no
like-
way of receiving the money, and
Yeah.
somebody else will receive the money.
Yeah. So it's like, who owns it?
Who owns the property now? I mean, a lot of those properties do get turned over to other companies or whatever. Like, let's say a company gets bought out or whatever. But there's some companies that just break apart.
Yeah, don't last.
And their licenses just go out the window.
Yeah.
So,
And it's all a matter of whether you put the ROM up and you get a cease and desist letter in the mail. You don't know
exactly.
because it could be sitting on some attorney's desk somewhere waiting for somebody to
fuck up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then boom, now you in a lawsuit and you're probably facing jail time.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to go through all that.
Yeah. But again, like this is something that developers have to like try to be a little forward thinking on, especially like major platforms like Xbox, PSN, because nothing is forever.
Yeah.
And people kind of want to play old games forever. Like you cannot go back and play any online only game
When the
from
servers are shut down.
like 5 years ago,
Yeah.
pretty much. Like you just can't do it. So there has to be a way. I don't know if it's just like doing like host console, where it's a console interconnection, where it's basically like using the Xbox Live and PSN as like a big LAN. Because they don't even add LAN really like as a setting in the online multiplayer in consoles anymore, pretty much. It's only those rare games where they're doing.
They even weaving out couch co-op for the most part.
Yeah.
No more like no more split screen.
Wow.
Yeah, and couch co-op to me is so fucking dope. I don't understand.
It's
it.
fun, yeah.
It's just they don't want to put the time and resources into developing that option.
But I don't know, man. Nothing's worse than split screen at 60 frames per second.
Yeah. No, like couch co-op over console. Like Halo 4-player legendary couch co-op over Xbox Live.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it works for certain types.
When we used to play Call of Duty, what's that? What is that mode? Where it's like a co-op mode.
Oh, you talking about like
the one where we shoot like the
They have like successive waves of enemies coming.
Yeah.
And you sit there and spray. That shit's fun.
horde mode basically.
Yeah.
Those are always good.
Yeah. They need to.
Me and Bobby used to play that on Modern Warfare 3 all the time.
Yeah, but again, they need to make it so that when these games are not supported anymore on the server side,
There's
that
still a form of multiplayer.
there's
that
still
we
a
can
way
play.
of playing these games.
LAN or something like
Yeah.
that. That's a good option.
Yeah.
For the most part, if that's the case, they need to start re-implementing couch co-op.
Yeah. At bare minimum, I should be able to take two consoles, put them in a room, and they should be able to talk to each other in order to facilitate the game.
Yeah, even if it's over Wi-Fi, even if it's not technically
Definitely over Wi-Fi.
like.
Yeah.
But if they're in the vicinity of each other, then they should be able to talk to each other.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's wrap it up. I think that's pretty much it for the week. There wasn't a whole lot going on this week.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones tonight.
What time?
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock, right? 9
Yeah.
o'clock.
Yeah.
9:10. Which one?
I know we're not going to get to see Daenerys' titties.
Ever again, actually.
Ever again.
But
Hopefully-
you got HBO on the go.
Hopefully, there will be some boobs.
No, but listen, if you got HBO on the go, you can just go back and see them anytime you want.
Yes.
Daenerys has some nice boobs.
00 Lounge wholly supports this website called lobstertube.com. It is probably the greatest porn site you ever seen on the internet.
Lobster tube?
LobsterTube.
What about Chatterbait?
Better than Chatterbait. Better than XXNN.com.
Yeah.
XXNX.com. Way better.
I don't even know sites.
Yes.
Yo, listen. When you have a PC, it's called a porn computer. That's it.
That's it.
PC, porn computer. That's
Porn
what it's
console.
for.
Just brings you porn all day. Anyway, hit us up at the 00 Lounge at gmail.com for any questions or comments or concerns.
Send us your feedback.
Yes. Rate us on iTunes. We're in iTunes now. So, like when you download the episodes, hit us up, rate us. It'll help us out a lot. Keep the show going.
If you want us to talk about something in particular, let us know.
Yeah. Hit us up on Twitter at 00 Lounge. At 00 Lounge on Twitter. At 00 Lounge on Instagram as well. Again, you're here with Angelo Green. What's your contact on Twitter there? This guy still doesn't fucking know. All right, fuck that guy. Aaron Christopher.
I'm so anti-social network.
The Ninja what, guys? At DANINJA1.
Yep, I'm Malik Banks. You can hit me up at Hanzo LaForge on Twitter. Shout me out. We'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. Again, this is the 00Lounge podcast. Thanks for listening to the show. Join us again next time where we discuss more games and nonsense. We out. Fat-tacular.